This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and tonight from Citi Field in New York, game number 2 of a 4-game series. Two teams playing very well to start 2015, the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Mets. Around Major League Baseball last night, some great pitching performances. De La Rosa, Herron, Kluber, Sale, and Matt Harvey. We saw him in Game 1. And going pitch for the most part with Matt Harvey was John Lackey. He took a no decision as well as the Mets would win it in 14. Welcome to Cardinals Baseball with Tim McCarver. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Delighted to have you with us here for game number 2 on Fox Sports Midwest. We're looking at a team right now, Tim, that really had missed opportunities of the Cardinals in game number 1, so maybe they break out here in game number 2.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting term because normally in late May, a team with a 3.5-game lead, you don't talk about breaking out because they've been winning more than they've been losing. But the thing they've been doing is winning it with starting pitching, and tonight they'd like to see the offense get going.
Michael Wacha will get the call tonight for St. Louis, the lefty Jonathan Neese for the Mets. Late inning heroics for Colton Wong on Sunday night in St. Louis. 24 hours later, John Mayberry Jr. does it to St. Louis in game number 1. Game 2 coming up. A 4-game series, St. Louis and New York. Game 1, 14 innings. John Mayberry Jr. and the Metropolitans walk it off against St. Louis. This evening in Game 2, the ace of this Cardinals staff, Michael Wacha, looks to go to 6-0. Budweiser, designated driver, and enjoy the great times. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. New York City, the Hudson, and Citi Field as Jonathan Nice gets the call tonight. The lefty moving up on the all-time starts list in Mets history, which may be a bit surprising. You wouldn't think of his name in that category, but he's in the top 15 all-time for the Mets in their history. The Cardinals lineup, Peter Bourjos, and it's primarily right-handed, will lead it off. Then Randall Grichuk, Matt Holliday, Johnny Peralta, Yadier Molina, Mark Reynolds, Colton Wong, the only lefty in this lineup to start, and Pete Kozma, then Michael Wacha. Tim McCarver, what do we know about Jonathan Nice?
Well, the Mets continue to run one good starter after another. They're the same as the Cardinals in that regard. Jonathan Nice with a cutter, curveball, good changeup, and one left-hander in the lineup. That's Colton Wong. Left-handers 11 for 44, which is pretty good. That's a .250 average. It's pretty good, but Jason Hayward having a tough night last night. So Mike Matheny is going to go with Peter Bourjos and Randall Grichuk, right-handed hitters, of course.
So on the bench tonight, Carpenter, Adams, Hayward from the left side, Tony Cruz from the right side. And here we go. Jonathan Nice, his first pitch to Bourjos is taken for a ball, and we're underway. Peter is hitting .267, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. In the hole, and a base hit into left. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for the lefty, Jonathan Nice. As Tim mentioned, fastball, cutter, changeup, the curve, and a slider as well.
A lot of guys who have a good cutter have gone away from the slider. They're basically the same pitch. Moves parallel to the ground from Nice, running in on a right-handed hitter.
Here's Randall Grichuk. He's in right field tonight. Started in center in game 1, and he struck out 5 times last night. And a drive out to left field. Kadire spun around, misplayed it. It's off the wall. Borges on his way to third. They'll wave him in. Relay by Flores to the plate, and how about the speed of Borges there? Flying around the bases, and it's 1-0 St. Louis.
It was the bobble by Kadire that allowed Oquendo to send Borges. A good play by Jose Oquendo at third base. And yes, he is as much a part of the offense once the game starts as anyone. It's refreshing to see the Cardinals swinging a 1-0 pitch and the first pitch. In my view, they've been taking too many pitches early in the count, allowing the pitcher to get ahead. You can see Oquendo knowing the speed of Borges, and Pete makes it.
So Grichuk, a much needed hit and the RBI. Here's Matt Holliday. What's been frustrating for Jonathan Neese, the fact that the Mets have made 10 errors when he's on the mound, tying their 3rd highest total through a pitcher's first 7 games to start a season.
As an example, to reinforce that, Flores, the shortstop, has 9 errors, but 5 with Neese on the mound.
The Cardinals last night 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position and 7 strikeouts. They struck out a total of 18 times.
Yeah, when you strike out with guys in scoring position, that means there's no movement from second to third, for instance.
When you hear about those unearned runs, it makes you think sometimes there are guys that pitch with an edge, and they say Neese does that. And if the plays aren't made behind him, do some players play tight? For instance, Wilmer Flores has 9 errors, the shortstop, with 5 of them coming when this lefty's on the mound.
Right. And the left-handed pitcher is going to face more right-handed batters because he's pretty good against left-handers. So it would figure that the shortstop's going to get a lot of ground balls from guys like Holliday.
3 balls, 1 strike on Holliday. He's reached base in his first 36 games this year.
Here's the rule of thumb as far as that goes. I understand you're upset if I make an error, but don't show me up. Because when you throw a hanging slider, I don't stare at you. So you don't stare at me, I don't stare at you. We'll talk about it the next day. We'll do something along those lines, but don't show me up.
3-2 the count on Holliday. Big gap in left center. You know, these guys are full of pride. They're the best in the world at what they do. They do not want to be shown up.
No. And on the other hand, you understand why pitchers are upset when routine plays in the major leagues can't be made. But from the middle of the diamond is no time to be looking at, screaming at, body languaging at, if that's a term.
I got you.
Yeah.
And it's a walk to Holliday. It's now 37 straight games that Matt Holliday has reached base to start this season. The Cardinals' all-time record is 42 by Pujols, and that matches Jose Bautista for the 3rd longest since 2000. Our Toyota keys to the game.
Well, it couldn't be more perfectly presented tonight, because we talked about it in the open. Time to break out, and through the first 3 hitters, the Cardinals have not only had 2 base hits and a walk, but they've scored a run.
Peralta riding a 6-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
On the inside corner that time with the fastball. No balls and 2 strikes. Jonathan Neese, the 28-year-old from Lima, Ohio. Made a career high 30 starts last year. Matched a career high in losses with 11. He went 9-11. So far this season, he's 3-3. 1-2 the count. Now, making those 30 starts a year ago, he was on the disabled list twice. Dealt with a sore shoulder, then an elbow injury. Left his last start with an elevated heart rate. Had that checked out in the offseason, and so far so good this year.
Matt Carpenter knows what that's all about.
You bet. Here's a 1-2. And Peralta hits it down the right field line, and it's foul.
You know, we talked about the slide in the home plate, and we talk about it often because the rules have changed. But watch how the dynamic around home plate has changed for Recker. Not blocking the plate, that allows the outside part to open up, and Recker's tag is too late to get Peter Borges. We were trained, of course, you know, that training is no longer in vogue because the rules have changed. But it's a lot easier to block the plate.
The fly ball lifted into right. Grichuk will tag up from second. Catch made by Granderson. Runners at the corners now, and 1 down. A look at the defense very quickly here for the Mets, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The catcher tonight is Anthony Recker. Then you have Campbell, Flores, Murphy, and Duda along the infield. Kadire, Lagares, the Gold Glover. Granderson is in right. But going back to catching,
Dan, we were always trained that it was easier to block the plate when receiving a throw from left field because you see the runner and the ball arrive at the same time, and you know what to do. You know when to close down. That's very difficult when you're receiving, as a catcher, the ball from right field with the guy trying to score because you don't know where he is.
Molina hits it foul.
And
that's why you take that lead in foul territory.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Pardsy.
That hits him in foul territory. It's only strike 1.
It only hurts.
It only hurts. Big bruise left. Molina has been red hot at this ballpark. He's 14 for his last 28 here at Citi Field. Maybe it's the boos that get him going because he is booed every single time he comes to the plate. These fans remember quite well Game 7 of 2006.
Home run in the 9th to put the Cardinals ahead.
The home run off of Aaron Heilman. So how about it, Pat Paris? What does Yachty say about that?
Well, I asked him today in the clubhouse about it, and he said, you know, I notice it. I'm locked in on batting, so it doesn't even affect me at the time. But when I get a chance to stop and think about it, it makes me chuckle a little bit because it was 2006, and they still remember. For them, the Mets fans, it's pain and agony. For him, it's such a great memory, so he has a little chuckle.
Yeah, Cardinal fans remember that quite well.
The only thing from a player's standpoint that you have to worry about is when you're booed in a white uniform.
That's at home.
That's not good.
At all.
No.
That's when things are going the wrong way. Runners at the corners. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Yadier Molina. And a foul ball. Molina last night 3 for 5 with a walk. That was his 14th multi-hit game in Game 1 of this series. That's 6th most now in the National League. Matt Carpenter, by the way, with 19.
With a guy on third base and less than 2 outs, if a pitcher wants a strikeout or a pop-up, he'll pitch a hitter inside. If he wants the ground ball with 1 out, double play in order, he'll pitch him away.
That's where they go here. The only thing I would say to that, and it's obviously that's where you want to go. In Molina's case, he's so adept at going to the opposite field and going with the pitch. But If he puts it on the ground, it's almost assuredly a double play.
Right.
Now they set up inside, and Molina pulls it. To me, Tim, this is the beauty of the game. The game within the game, and this at bat right here with Yadier Molina.
Yeah, and whenever you talk about pitch selection, you have to talk in generalities because, you know, you're dealing with a pitcher who has options and a hitter who has options on those options.
The 2-2 off the mask of Recker, and Molina still alive, turning into a very long at bat. Still only 1 out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good numbers against Nice. That's 6 for 16, includes a home run. Inning started with a base hit by Borges to left, a double by Grichuk off the wall, and RBI. Walk by Holiday. Peralta fly to right. The 2-2 put on the ground, and we'll do it again. Jonathan Nice already 24 pitches here in the first inning, and the bullpens were used so much last night. The Mets 6 innings, the Cardinals 6 1/3 from their bullpen.
That is always the case in a 14-inning game.
You bet.
Always.
The 2-2 again. Molina, double play ball. 6-4. 3 on the double play. Cardinals pick up the RBI by Grichuk, his third. 1-0 after a half inning. Randall Grichuk as Curtis Granderson will lead it off for Terry Collins' club, followed by Eric Campbell, then Lucas Duda here in the first. Michael Kadire, Daniel Murphy, Wilmer Flores, Anthony Recker, Jonathan Nice, the pitcher, batting 8th. Juan Lagares is batting 9th, the center fielder. Michael Wacha trying to go to 6-0.
And from a physics standpoint, when you're facing a guy like Michael Wacha, and I'm sure the Mets have talked about this, elevate the ball. Look for the ball up, because when you're 6'6" with that long stride, it's very difficult for a guy 6'6" to get the ball down. And that's why Michael Wacha's changeup is his best pitch, because that's the one pitch that he can consistently get down in the strike zone.
Hyundai pitch arsenal for Michael. Fastball, cutter, the outstanding changeup. And I say improving curveball, but that curveball has gotten a lot better. And I say it's been since the beginning of the season one of his better pitches.
It started last spring and carried over to this year, and it's much better this year than it was last year. So improvement in that department.
I always take a hard look at velocity for Michael Wacha, more so with him than just about anybody else. Little floater into shallow center, and there's Peter Borges. And the reason I say that, when Wacha last year, Tim, was around 95 to 97. he was darn near unbeatable, and the numbers showed that. Then he had the dip in velocity, and that's when he had his issues with the shoulder, and all of a sudden the problems arose.
Top of the shoulder, a very unusual injury, but almost by his delivery, an understandable injury.
Eric Campbell at the plate. The velocity here early has been 95, 96, so it could be a very good night for Michael Wacha. 96 again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eric Campbell is at third again as the Mets await the arrival of David Wright back from injury. Elevated. Shallow right center. There's Borges as we take a look at the Cardinals defense presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Holiday in left, Grichuk in right, Borges is in center. Cosma at third tonight, Peralta at short, Wong at second, Reynolds at first, Molina behind the plate, Michael Wacha on the mound. Lucas Duda hitting .293, 3 home runs, and he's driven in 15.
One of those last night in the 4th inning.
We mentioned that we had not seen a shift like that with the infield in and 3 to the right side. Now you see the shift here.
I'll tell you, they were almost bunched on the right side.
Right. And you see this shift here, and this is normal. You see this any game you watch tonight, you'll see a shift like this. But to see it in, unusual.
And the minute you see it, you go, wait a minute. Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
You know. And we talked about it last night. The one thing we did not agree with was one shift that didn't take away the middle. And if you take away the middle from a guy who's for years and years and years, that's always been a base hit. We talked about that before. Now with the shift, guys are hitting the ball up the middle, and it's not a hit anymore.
Right. 2-2 the count. Wacha's next to Duda. Takes a healthy cut. .30 home runs last year, 3rd most in the National League behind Stanton of Miami and Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs. And there's the breaking ball and taken for ball 3. You think back to the run that Wacha had in the postseason. It was primarily a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, changeup. Now trying to get that curveball to that level, and if he does, watch out. 2-out walk. So the cleanup hitter in this lineup is Michael Kadire, hitting just .239. He was the National League batting champion with the Rockies in 2013. Hit .331 that year for Colorado, and already the 6th Rocky to win a batting championship.
Colorado, as everyone knows, we talked about it last night, the Mile High City. And yet this year they are tied for 3rd in home runs allowed, playing half their games in Denver.
Here's a 1-1 pitch from Michael Wacha. Colorado at home 4-10 this year. You would think that would be one of the great home field advantages in the game.
Always has been.
You bet. What do you do with Tulowitzki? Does he wind up here with the Mets in search of a shortstop potentially? Can they pay him? The big question. I think that's what's been very frustrating for those that follow the Mets.
They can pay him, in my view. Now, they may elect not to, But I think a bigger thing with the Mets is getting rid of 2, not 1, of their young pitchers, because that's where their wealth lies, in my view.
1-2 pitch up the middle, off the mound, and a base hit into center field. So Kadire, the first hit for the Mets. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks. Get a look at this pitch to Kadire.
Michael fouling a few fastballs off. He catches up to this one. Rockets it back through the middle.
This guy's a good hitter, isn't he, Daniel Murphy?
Yes, he is. He's not going to be at 245 long.
A pending free agent. If you go back to 2012, it's Robinson Cano, Jose Altuve, and Daniel Murphy. Third in hits among all second basemen in the big leagues. And he's had great numbers against St. Louis in his time here with the Mets. All-star last year. And an 0-1 pitch. Pulled foul.
That was a hanger.
The breaking ball has not been sharp.
I think Michael Wacha has a better breaking ball from the windup. The reason I say that, a lot of pitchers do that. That was even though it was down okay, it was a hanger. Hangers are low as well as high. I think if I'm Yadier Molina, I might reserve that curveball from the windup and not from the stretch.
Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses outside, 97 on the gun.
To a guy like Wacha, especially a guy, once again, 6'6", he doesn't have the leg kick from the stretch to get that curveball the proper rotation, but he does from the windup.
Here's a 1-2.
Murphy, a left field hitter with 2 strikes.
Two is hit out to center. Borges is back, plenty of room, and makes the catch. Mets strand 2. We played an inning from Citi Field. Cardinals on top, 1-0. Along with Tim McCarver and Pat Paris, Dan McLaughlin with you from Citi Field in New York as Mark Reynolds pops the first pitch out of play and foul. Reynolds hitting .247. Pair of home runs. He has driven in 11. Popped up to the right side. Duda will give chase. That'll find the seats out of play. A pretty important date in Mets history. October 27th, 1986. That's the night the Mets won the World Series. It was also the night that Jonathan Nice was born.
That was also the night that Ralph Kiner celebrated his birthday.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, October 27th.
And Nice, who I mentioned before is from Ohio, had a scholarship to the University of Cincinnati. And it was the kid, Gary Carter, who called Nice and his parents to sell him on the Mets.
I didn't know that. That's a nice story.
Said, make sure you sign with New York. You got a chance. So he decided not to go to college, signed with the Mets, and here he is in the big leagues. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball left side. Deep in the hole. No play for Flores, and a base hit for Mark Reynolds, and the Cardinals' third hit tonight. Nothing like it, the Krispy Kreme dozen deal. If your Cardinals get 9 hits tonight, you're invited into Krispy Kreme tomorrow. You'll receive a dozen of their original glazed donuts for only $3.99. Stop by one of the 4 St. Louis area Krispy Kreme locations for this sensational deal. Here's Colton Wong, the lone lefty in the lineup. And a ground ball, could be 2. Tough though. Duda back to the bag at first. Ball scoots away. Murphy is backing up the play, and they do get the lead man.
Yeah, you're not going to see Colton Wong ground into a 3-6-3 double play, particularly with the right-handed throwing first baseman over there. Nice with a pretty good move, too. It's going to be tougher to steal for Colton than it normally would be.
Now Anthony Recker out to visit with Nice. Recker is getting the start tonight. Travis d'Arnaud dealing with a broken hand, and he had x-rays again yesterday. Those came away clean, so he starts baseball activities today and batting practice tomorrow.
Terry Collins telling us yesterday about 2 weeks for Travis to get back in the Mets lineup.
Mets also got good news on David Wright. Was out with a hamstring injury, then injured his lower back. He's had back problems for a number of years, but he's down in Florida and trying to come back, and they expect him back in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Cardinals, of course, train in Jupiter, Florida, about an hour north of theirs, Port St. Lucie, where the Mets train.
Some new teams coming to that West Palm area, and that's going to make it a lot better and make the decision easier for clubs like the Cardinals to continue to train there.
Mm-hmm.
You can only play the Marlins so many times.
Yeah.
And the Mets.
That's why Arizona is really, because of the trips in Arizona being shorter, that's why there are more teams that train in Arizona now as opposed to Florida.
The longest trip in Arizona is something like 45 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Cosma base hit into right. Wong to second. No hesitation, on his way to third. And it's first and third with Michael Wacha coming up and only 1 out.
Well, if you're the Mets, you got to worry about a squeeze right here with Wacha up there, runners on at first and third, and only 1 out. About as strong as Curtis Granderson can throw a ball. You saw Wong look back, and the reason he did was He didn't know whether to go straight into second base or take the turn. If the first baseman, Duda, had fielded the ball, then he goes straight in knowing the shortstop's going to cover. But once the ball got back, he was his own coach on the bases then.
So here is Walker now. Runners at the corners. Only one out. 1-0 St. Louis.
Safety squeeze.
Yep. He did go as they appeal down to first, and that's Doug Eddings.
Yeah, Wong, a fast runner. I think with Colton on at third base, you come in with the third baseman because the shortstop's going to second base. There's nobody behind you. So you can actually get a good jump here if you're Colton Wong. Go as the third baseman's coming in for the bunt. So go as far as he goes.
And Wong is doing that.
Yeah.
There's strike 2 on Walker. Yeah, that's interesting. It's almost as if he shadows the third baseman coming down the line.
That's right. And Jose Oquendo realizing that, encouraging him to do so. Walker gets under the bunt. Of course, you got to get the bunt down first. Either third or first, it doesn't matter. And Wong could have a chance to score.
0-2, squares again, up the first base line, beautifully done by Michael Walker. Partner, you were right on it. Execution done perfectly by Walker. Wong scores to make it 2-0.
Not even a thought to come home, and Wong with very alert base running. Going up the line almost like he was the third baseman without a glove. Just great base running by Wong. And a perfect bunt. Watch. Boy, very nice. There's no defense for that.
Nothing you can do.
No.
Here's Borges, who singled to left and scored the first run. So Michael Walker and the Cardinals a 2-run lead here in the top of the second. Also advancing on that bunt was Cosma from from first to second.
2 for the price of 1.
With John Jay out, it'll be interesting to see how the Cardinals want to use the center field position for both Borges and Grichuk. The lefty on the mound, Hayward sits, Grichuk plays. Primarily, though, center field will be the spot that'll be open for either one of those two. A little bit low to Borges.
Well, the Cardinals obviously know they're both very, very good defensive players. Whoever hits, plays. It's that simple.
Took something off that pitch, and it's 2-2 on Peter Borges. Peter came over from the Angels, David Freese deal. Freese, by the way, is hitting .230, 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. And if you're wondering, Albert Pujols on base percentage under 300.
Wow. Wow.
And hitting .237. 2-2 pitch.
And the one thing about Albert, his greatness for a decade with the Cardinals, he'd take his walks.
Yes.
All the time. That ball 2 inches outside, he'd take it. Once again, that ball under the bat head of Michael Walker on the foul ball. And he adjusts.
2-2 the count on Peter Borges. I was talking with John Mozeliak the other day, and I said, what's been your best deal? He's had some good ones. And he said probably the signing of Albert Pujols. Not a trade, but the signing of Pujols. He said people don't understand that was an intricate process that they went through with him, and obviously changed the fortunes of a franchise, an iconic player. As Borges skies one into center field. His best trade, Jimmy Edmonds, David Freese, who became a World Series hero.
Yep.
Brewers. Pat.
Well, Dan, last night, of course, John Lackey removed after the 7th inning for a pinch hitter in the top of the 8th, and John Lackey frustrated by that move at the time. Just 76 pitches in to a 7-inning performance where he allowed just the 1 run, and so he was visibly frustrated. Talked with Mike Matheny today, and they came to the same conclusion. In the National League, you pinch hit in a 1-0 game in that situation. In the American League, well, Mike said he'd be pitching to the 14th if he was pitching that well and that efficiently, but just a difference in the leagues, and that's what it came down to.
Well, Pat, I got to tell you, I'm shocked to hear that John Lackey was upset.
You're right. There's no more fierce competitor on the mound between the white lines, but when you get him away from the field, you guys know he's not that fierce or competitive. Very nice man.
He is. A lot of fun to be around, and you know, I think a lot of guys with this young staff are learning from John Lackey, and he embraces that role. Talking with him the other day about it. The old veteran at the age of 36. Here's Wilmer Flores.
Well, it's perennial as the grass. I mean, pitchers do not understand managers. Position players do.
Another fly ball. It's lifted to center. Peter Borges busy early on.
Not that they always accept it. Position players, that is. But pitchers accept managers' decisions much less, particularly when it involves them, than position players do.
And over the last...
I told you my tombstone. I haven't said that this year. But
just going to lead you to it. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Pitchers did this. I don't know the spot yet.
Pitchers did this.
Pitchers did this.
Well,
and believe me, pitchers. I'm only half kidding.
Yeah, I know you are. Here's Anthony Recker. Late with that swing on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Michael Wacha. I mean, look at who you dealt with for so many years. Gibson, Carlton. I mean, my goodness. I can understand the tombstone there.
They tear your hand up and disagree with you at the same time.
That's great. Well, the Mets are in the midst, by the way, of 6 consecutive losing seasons. Tied with Houston for the most in Major League Baseball. They were close last year, getting back to 500, 79, and 83. And you'd have to figure this is the year they finish above 500, and who knows, maybe they surprise many and win the National League East. This pitching could.
Oh, yeah. They're that good.
The 2-1 pitch.
That pitching staff's been compared to perhaps the middle 80s, but certainly not in the early 70s when you had Nolan Ryan, 69, the Miracle Mets of 69 beating Baltimore in 5 games in the World Series.
Fly ball lifted at deep right field. Going back, Richard with throw. Brings in the pitcher Jonathan Neese with 2 outs and nobody on. So the Mets, Houston, Chicago, Miami trying to turn things around here in 2015. And how about the Marlins trying to do it with their general manager now in uniform?
Dan Jennings.
Wow.
Yep.
A gentleman, and it's no disrespect, but he had not been in uniform since high school, when he was coaching in high school.
I think you might have. We were talking about how pitchers disagree with managers. I think some of the pitchers in Miami are going to be disagreeing with Dan Jennings.
You bet.
Or the, you know, it's wide open for disagreement.
What about just trying to get the respect in the clubhouse?
Yes. Yes.
Here's an 0-2. Neese hitting .214 this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Not a bad hitter.
Looks at a called 3rd strike. First strikeout for Michael Wacha. We played 2, and it's 2-0 St. Louis. STIHL outdoor power equipment. Find a servicing STIHL dealer at stihldealers.com or search STIHL. Try the new legendary Buttery Jack from Jack in the Box today. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Pat Paris is with us on this road trip. Game 2 of 7. Along with Tim McCarver, Dan McLaughlin with you. 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup for the Cardinals here at the top of the third. Randal Grichuk with an RBI double back in the first to score Peter Borges from first base. Give the Cardinals an early 1-0 lead. Then Michael Wacha with an RBI to make it 2-0. And Borges rips it into center field. Lagares is back at the wall. Dropped it. Grichuk to second. Grichuk on his way to third. And the Gold Glover couldn't come up with it. A triple for Randal Grichuk.
Talked about Randal striking out 5 times last night and coming out so aggressively tonight. First ball swinging to drive in the first run of the game for the Cardinals, and this ball hit a ton. The Gold Glover normally would come up with a ball like that, but a tough play. Understandably drops it. So a double, triple for Grichuk his first 2 times up.
I know where you're going with that.
Good. Triple, the toughest hit for the cycle.
You bet. Here is Holiday. Infield is drawn in. Matt walked his first time up. Cardinals trying to add to their 2-run lead. In the air, shallow right. Granderson makes the catch as Grichuk went halfway, did not tag up.
No one out, no way.
So the first out, and it brings in Johnny Peralta.
You know, Matt Holliday normally has power the other way, to right center field. And Granderson, to his credit, playing him more shallow than a lot of right fielders in the National League.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Curtis, one of the real good guys in the game today.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Johnny Peralta, fly to right, first time up. Infield drawn in with 1 out. Well, Johnny's got good power. Lagares, the Gold Glove center fielder, is fairly shallow for him.
By far the best arm in the outfield is the Gold Glover in center.
1 ball, 1 strike. Broken bat, shallow center, and that drops. Grichuk will score a broken bat single for Johnny Peralta as he drives in his 20th this year.
The reason it was a broken bat single and not a second baseman catching the ball was because the infield was in a situation where the Mets were burned doing the right thing.
Yep.
It's a quirky game at times. Johnny Peralta happy the infield's in, and now he hits it to nobody's land.
The 7-game hitting streak now. Broken bat, shallows. $3-0 Cardinals. They've scored a run in each inning tonight. And here is Yadier Molina, who bounced into a 6-4-3 double play back in the first. After the long night, Sunday, Monday, Yadier Molina back in there on Tuesday. Fixture now for the Cardinals, well over a decade behind home plate. Truly one of the greats to ever wear this uniform now.
No question about that.
The 1-1 is hit sharply to third. And Molina hits into another double play. This time 5-4-3. 3-0 Cardinals. For the third, the BJC Healthcare Difference Makers, Dallas Keuchel, James Shields, Michael Wacha. These are the starters. No losses still. I believe Shields is going tonight for the Padres, who've been hovering around 500 after all the changes that they made with their club. Lagares hitting .269. He was the first Met to win the Gold Glove since David Wright in '06. Off the glove of Wacha, and the glove went flying. And let's hope he's all right.
Oh, boy. What you hope is that it hit him on the meat of the left forearm on the inside part. But if it were bone, it's not his pitching hand.
Just watching his reaction as if he knows the news may not be good. Let's hope he's all right. Oh.
That ball with a lot of top spin on it, too. Glove off. Michael checking that left hand. Normally, you want to ice that immediately. But, of course, he wants to stay in the game to pitch.
It's Greg Houck, the lead trainer for the St. Louis Cardinals. Been with the organization for a number of years. Here's Greg with Mike Matheny. So it's a hit for Lagares, and we're back to the top of the lineup in Curtis Granderson. You know, Tim, we were talking about the great pitching the Mets have, and obviously it's going to keep them very competitive throughout the year. Is it good enough to win? Maybe so. The question will be with this team, offense. Do they have enough? They're hitting just .233 this year against right-handed pitching, .238 overall.
better to have too much hitting and too much pitching and not enough hitting than the other way around.
You bet. Popped up, shallow left. Holiday calls off Peralta and makes the play for the first out.
Dan, when you think about the history of this team, the first year, of course, 1962, there were 40 and 120, the worst year ever by a team as Granderson gets under one. They've always had competitive pitching, sometimes fabulous pitching. Ryan, Seaver, Gentry, Jerry Kuzman. And then the middle 80s, a better offense, but fabulous pitching.
Lifted to left, late break by Holiday. He's there for out number 2.
So I guess the point is, you know, great pitching and not a lot of offense. They're familiar with this.
Yeah.
I mean, their fan base understands that because that's been their history.
That pitching of the 80s led by Dwight Gooden.
Ooh. Ron Darling, Bobby Ojeda, Sid Fernandez. Was he nasty?
Yes.
Oh. David Cohn.
Orozco at the back end of games.
Roger McDowell.
2 outs, runner at first. Never forget Terry Pendleton, September 11th, 1987, and his home run off of Roger McDowell.
Neither will Mets fans.
Late in the season, the Cardinals and the Mets were the great rivalries, really, of the 80s.
Sure. Whitey Ball against Davy Johnson Ball here in New York.
It was fun.
Really was.
Then you think about those teams too, and some of the villains. You know, you got to have a villain,
right,
to have a good rivalry.
Mets had a lot of them.
Yes. Howard Johnson, Wally Backman, Tim Tubb. I didn't like any of them. None of them. At least I'm honest, okay?
Oh, hey. Part of being a fan. Are you kidding?
You bet. Here's a 2-1. Better breaking ball. 2-2. It's a warm night here in New York. You can see that with Waka and the sweat, perspiration on the jersey. The 2-2. And I guess I am the only one that you've ever met that liked Shea Stadium.
You are.
I love that place.
Why?
It would rock. It was old. It was smelly.
You're right on all counts.
I mean, it was really smelly. The 2-2.
Well, I agree. You know, the smell of a ballpark is unlike any other smell because all the food, the aroma from the food,
I
the
prefer
popped beer, the popped Coca-Colas.
I prefer
Pepsis.
hot dogs and Cracker Jacks of the smell. That's not quite what I got at Shea. The 2-2. Not sure how you would describe that smell, but it wasn't the smell of hot dogs and Cracker Jacks and beer and soda.
No.
This is a $1 billion facility, Citi Field. And the crowds have been sparse. The 2-2. Ground ball off the glove of Reynolds, still in time, and takes it himself. Cardinals will get a further look at Waka as we flash back 1987. Terry Pendleton, that famous home run at Shea Stadium. What a moment for that championship club of 1987 and Whitey Ball. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Coming up for St. Louis in the top of the fourth. Mark Reynolds, a single, first time up. And Reynolds drives it out to deep left, and that ball is gone. Absolutely crushed by Reynolds in his third home run.
Just sometimes your natural sounds take over. I'm sorry, partner.
Hey, that baby was smoked.
Oh my gosh. Did it get out of here in a hurry? When a big league hitter who's strong as an ox gets the pitch he's looking for and connects, that's what happens.
A ball to Colton Wong. 4-0 St. Louis. They have scored now in every inning tonight.
Picket fence.
You know, Mark Reynolds has been what you would expect as that pitch is popped up.
You're right.
It's a lot of all or nothing.
You're right. He has done a good job overall for the Cardinals in the first 7 weeks of the season.
Yellowwood bringing the lumber. Mark Reynolds. You know, the Cardinals realized the bench had to improve going into 2015. And when you face a lefty with Adams' struggles at times in his career against left-handed pitching, he fits that role too. So he's been exactly what they expected.
And plus can play third, left, and has played right. So he's had 4 positions in which he started for Mike Matheny.
Pete Kozma, a single to right, first time up. Goes to right again, and that will find the seats out of play. So Reynolds with 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. He's now 2 for 2 tonight. Cardinals with 7 hits. If you're wondering, we had a camera on Michael Wacha in between innings, and the medical staff went over, looked at the hand again, and he seemed to be okay. He was nodding as if everything's all right. He'll continue in this game. And now swinging the bat might be tough.
Right.
Here's a 1-2. Cosma lifts it in the air. Left center, and there's Lagarde.
When you have a 4-run lead, you just go up there and take 3 strikes.
Phillips 66. You want a great deal on tickets? Fill up there with 8 gallons or more now until September 24th. And receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66.
If I were Mike Matheny, I'd tell him don't swing the bat.
Yeah.
Take 3 pitches.
Last time up, he was bunting, and it proved to be an RBI that scored Colton Long. Nice might be thinking the same thing of what you just said.
Maybe.
And how many times have we seen it? Then it becomes harder for the pitcher to throw a strike, knowing that he may not swing the bat, but he just did.
A lot harder when you have to. In anything.
Three and 1.
Contact may hurt more than anything.
Just waiting for him to shake his hand and do something to show that there was a little pain, but we didn't see that. And a strikeout of walk-up. And the first tonight for Jonathan Nice. Mark Reynolds, home run number 3. RBI number 12. 4-zip St. Louis. Sports Midwest annual This One's For You telecast as we connect Soldiers and Cardinals Nation. This year, Fox Sports Midwest will broadcast its annual Cardinals Live pregame and postgame shows live from Fort Leonard Wood. The Hungo bobblehead has already made its way to the base. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest as well as the American Forces Network. We love that telecast every single year. Mark Reynolds with a home run to make it 4-0. And here is Michael Kadire against Michael Walkup. Good breaking ball that time. That breaking ball is approved as we've gone on through tonight. Kadire with a base hit into center field. The Mets with 2 hits. The other by Juan Lagares, an infield hit in the third. 2 balls and 1 strike. Steve Hurd of the Elias Sports Bureau tells us another home run hit tonight. Bryce Harper, last 12 games, 10 home runs, 23 RBIs.
That is sick.
I think now, Tim, he's back in the conversation with Mike Trout when you talk about the best young players in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And he got back into that talk the last 3 weeks.
It's about consistency and longevity and putting up those numbers throughout the entire year. Second walk issued by Waka. And a pitch high to Daniel Murphy. Remember Michael Waka here at Citi Field on a night when the wind was blowing 35 to 40 miles an hour, struck out the first 9 in the game. That was a year ago. Hit down the right field line. Grichuk over. And that ball is a home run. Hits off the top of the line and just past it. Regardless, Daniel Murphy with his 3rd home run, a 2-run shot, and that makes it 4-2.
There's a guy who's looking for a fastball. That's one of the problems with walks. With a 4-run lead, he misses on the first pitch with Daniel Murphy. And you talk about a big league hitter looking for a fastball and getting it and doing the right thing with it from a Mets standpoint.
That barely cleared the wall.
Do you know what I mean? When you walk the hitter, you're becoming more conscious of throwing the ball down the middle of the plate. And big league hitters can smell that.
Walker's just missed on a couple of pitches. One to Kadire, and then moments ago to Flores. And that's lifted in the air to Grichuk in right field. May have hit the foul pole.
Or a foot or two from it.
Anthony Recker fly to right, 0 for 1 tonight. Good fastball again. Walker, that's just the 4th home run he's allowed this year. Back to Walker, and he makes the play.
His hand feels better.
Maybe. Let's go back to the home run, number 3 for Daniel Murphy. Where did it hit? The netting of the foul pole. Grichuk almost had that.
You know, initially, I thought the ball perhaps could have hit the orange line, in which case, if it bounced back onto the field, it would have been a double or an extra base hit. But it hit the netting, and clearly the netting over the fence.
Here's the pitcher, Jonathan Neese, who struck out looking back in the 2nd inning, the only strikeout tonight for Michael Waka. The 23-year-old, the Texas A&M product, Michael Waka. Watch him throw. Very simple delivery. Nothing fancy to it. Very compact. He was telling us the other day at Texas A&M when he initially signed, he was only throwing about 86 to 88. And his head coach, Coach Childress at Texas A&M, finally said, "You got to let it go. You're 6'6". Throw the ball." Slowly but surely, he said he took that mindset into his college starts, grew into his body. All of a sudden, by his junior year, he is throwing 92, then 93, then up to 95. He's throwing hard here tonight. His niece puts it in play. And we have played 4 from Citi Field. Mets get on the board thanks to Daniel Murphy. It's 4-2. Randal Grichuk so far here tonight. Remember, he struck out 5 times last night. Thus far this evening, he's got the double and the triple. And this is an amazing look at the history of baseball and unique little aspects of it. So Grichuk, 5 strikeouts last night, 2 extra base hits the following game. The last time that's happened in Major League Baseball was 1999. Scott Rowland did that when he was with the Phillies. The last Cardinal to have that happen, you have to go back to 1953. So 5 strikeouts, then the next game, 2 extra base hits. Steve Bilko, 1953.
That's probably why Anheuser-Busch bought the St. Louis Cardinals that year.
I mean, that's crazy. As Borges hits it in the air out to left field. Michael Cadillo.
I think it was 53, right during the season, from Grzelcyk brothers.
So here's Grichuk, who's got the double, the triple. If you're wondering, the last Cardinal with a cycle. And we played 1 year in St. Louis, and he was an outstanding player. Mark Grzelcyk. Busch Stadium against Milwaukee in 2005. Prior to that, it was hitting coach John Mabry. John did that against Colorado. Popped up. Eric Campbell. Arcia in the driver's seat. Jonathan Nice. Before the ball game tonight, lowest ERA against St. Louis. Minimum 5 starts. Jake Arrieta of the Cubs, then Nice, Liriano, Lincecum, and then Bartolo Colon.
Jake Arrieta, 2 good starts against the Cardinals so far this year. Cubs 3.5 behind St. Louis coming into tonight's play.
Lagares is there off the bat of Holiday. And the first 1, 2, 3 inning for Jonathan Neese. Up for the Coleman St. Louis Race for the Cure, Saturday, June 13th. All team members receive a special team hat, invited to enjoy special pre-race activities, and much more. Find out all the info at stlouisblues.com. Tell you what, the fans up in arms here in New York after the play of the Rangers last night.
Destroyed.
Woo. Juan Lagares looks at a really good breaking ball from Michael Wacha.
You don't see 6 goals scored against Lundqvist.
No, you don't.
Ever.
Did you ever have him on your show?
No.
Interesting guy.
Had Mark Messier, though.
Did you?
Yes, sir. Boy, you talk about a handsome, menacing face.
Stone jaw.
Yeah, right.
Steely look. The eyes.
Yeah. Eyes.
Swing and a miss, and a good breaking ball from Michael Wacha. The Chevy Foxtrots. Mark Messier leading and guaranteeing a win. The Mike Keenan-led Rangers of 1994. And Mike Keenan goes to St. Louis. Let's just say that was interesting. That's putting it kindly. Here's Curtis Granderson.
Do you subscribe to the theory that Bobby Orr is the greatest player in the history of hockey, or was it Gretzky or someone else?
I think most believe Orr. I really do. Even though Gretzky holds most records. Gretzky himself will tell you he was a product of great teams in Edmonton. With Mark Messier, Paul Coffey, Grant Fuhr, all Hall of Famers. Me personally, I'd go Gretzky, but I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Yeah.
Is that staying right on the middle of the fence there, you think? Or
No, you gave your opinion, you gave the reasons for it. Good changeup from Wacha.
And you? Now, you've had Bobby Orr on the show.
No, I have not.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But from what I've heard, I think Bobby Orr would be my pick. But I'm not I don't know a lot about hockey.
Either way, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's from that. I also heard that. So most of my opinions from that came from other people.
Great inning. Union Station Hotel. Choose one of our Cardinals baseball packages. Score for your team. Go to HiltonSt.Louis.com or call 314-421-1776. And the top of the sixth rolls in. Was a 4-0 lead. Now 4-2 as Nice delivers to Johnny Peralta. .3-0 on Peralta. Johnny extended his hitting streak to 7 games with a broken bat base hit in the third and an RBI, and is also flied out to right. Ripped foul. It's another broken bat base hit for Peralta. 2 for 3 tonight. All right, Tim, here's what we're talking about. The T-Mobile game changer here in 2015. The young pitching of the New York Mets. Can they stay healthy? Can they stay together? Remember,
well, if they stay healthy, they'll stay together.
Remember, it was Wilson, Pulsifer, Isringhausen. That was the big three that the Mets were banking on to return them to glory. And Isringhausen wound up having an exceptional career as a reliever and a closer, all-time saves leader in Cardinals history. And he was nasty. One ball, one strike, and Jason is working for the club, helping out many of the minor leaguers. Molina is 0 for 2, grounded into 2 double plays.
You know, Dan, we often talk about how baseball is a game of firsts. Get ahead in the count if you're a pitcher. Get ahead in the count if you're a hitter. Get ahead in the game if you're a team. The Mets have had the first base runner on 5 of the first 6 innings tonight. How many times have we seen that I can't think of any this year.
Oh, it's off the glove of Flores and into left. And now the Cardinals have the first two to reach here in the top of the sixth.
But what that really does, it gives you, a cushion early. It gives you a chance to not only score one run, more runs.
The pitcher's constantly working out of the stretch.
Right, right.
And I thought you brought up a terrific point about Michael Wacha. I hadn't really thought of it this way, but earlier in the game you were talking about Wacha, and in particular delivery from the stretch, being 6'6" and how that could be a hindrance till you get it going, till you get that comfort level with it.
And talk about how taller pitchers have an advantage, and to some degree they do, but from a stretch they don't.
Right.
You think of Randy Johnson, who was 6'10", Hall of Famer this year, and him working from the stretch, it just wasn't the same. It wasn't as menacing. The slider was flatter.
Yeah, definitely. Reynolds is 2 for 2, a solo home run back in the fourth, and a single in the second inning. Because of the lack of innings at times from the starters, the Cardinals only have a 4-man bench, and you wonder how much longer the Cardinals can do that. Especially in the National League, double switches and how that works out.
Right. Well, they could certainly do that by getting rid of someone in the bullpen. Not two, perhaps, but one. That'll give you an extra spot on the bench.
Runners at first and second. Reynolds crushes it again down the left field line and yanks it foul. My goodness. That made it to the upper deck.
Home run in a round park. Right?
Wow. That guy's thinking, I'm coming to the ballpark. I'm going to sit down, relax, enjoy this game with my buddies.
No balls will be hit up here.
No chance to get a souvenir. None. Even in batting practice, we don't see guys put them up there in the upper deck.
Not anymore.
Good point. 10 years ago, different story. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 87 pitches for Nice. Eric Goodell was getting loose. We saw him last night. He's a right-hander in the pen for the Mets. If you were trying to explain power to the casual fan, is it the strength of a big man, which some people would say? Is it bat speed?
It's a lower body.
Is it lower body?
Yes.
And what do you mean by that? Just the base of it?
Lower body.
Well, I got that.
You
part.
explain it. All I did was answer it.
There's a base hit into right. And they'll hold up the runner at third. See, that's why you're one of the great analysts that ever did this, because I say lower body. Yes. Okay, well, expound on it.
Why and how, I know. I think the lower body abets the torso. The same with pitching. Pitching and hitting are the same. Usually, I was talking to Jim Cott, who's a good buddy and everything, and a very interesting guy and loves the game. And he was talking about, usually when in the late innings, when pitchers hang pitches, it's because of the lower body. They've lost strength in the lower body, and he's, from all the pitchers I've talked to, that's exactly right.
Think about the base of Colton Wong here.
Remember the swings last night by the Mets arriving at 4 in the morning? Little lazy arm swings. You're seeing a lot more authority with their swinging tonight. Now, you can't credit all of it to the lower body, but very, very important.
Well, it seemed like a team that was tired late in the game last night.
Yeah, understandably.
Yep. Bases loaded, the 1-1. That's a base hit in the left center field. Off the bat of Wall, all the way to the wall. Peralta scores. Here comes another run. 2 runners score as Molina adds to the Cardinal lead. That makes it 6-2. Wong drives in 2. And it's back to a 4-run St. Louis lead.
They talk about the lower body. Watch the lower body of Colton Wong. Staying with that fastball on the outside part. Check this out. Weight transfer, rope, and 2 RBIs. Double for Wong.
The fans booing Jonathan Neese as his night is through. Eric Goodell, our Chevy call to the pen, coming in. A right-hander for the Mets. Lead back to 4 for St. Louis. Championship team on Memorial Day. That's Monday, May 25th. 25,000 fans ages 16 and older receive a wearable replica of the 1985 National League Championship ring, courtesy of Ameren, Missouri. And tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions. Eric Goodell, 15th appearance, the 0 ERA. There's Pete Kozma. Runners at second and third. Infield is in. Kozma 1 for 2 tonight. I realize when a player gets a day off, let's say like Matt Carpenter tonight, ideally you get a 4-run lead. Let's try to give him the night off if we can.
The best way to give him a night off is to win big.
Yeah, exactly.
And that way you're not going to play him in a tight ball game.
I just wonder how tempted Mike gets in spots like these to say, all right, righty coming in, Kozma at the plate. Think about Matt Carpenter.
You know, there's nobody out, though. There's nobody out. The runners on at second and third. Chance to score more. They've got a 4-run lead. I wouldn't use Carpenter.
Agreed. There's Hayward on the right, Carpenter in the middle. Adams also on the bench tonight with Tony Cruz. Infield in and a 1-1 pitch to Kozma. Pete singled to right, fly to center. Michael Wacha on deck. Outfield very shallow for Cosmo. The strikeout of Pete. Reminder, we have Game 3 tomorrow here on Fox Sports Midwest. Our Budweiser What's on Tap, and the Cardinals face Bartolo Colon. A fun matchup. Carlos Martinez, Bartolo Colon. Colon 6-2. And will come your way at 5:30. The Budweiser What's on Tap. Cardinals have to see Martinez go deeper into games.
Yeah, no question. When he does that, he's successful.
Well, the Cardinals had a similar spot to this with Michael Wacha in the second inning with runners at first and third and one out. He bunted, and that was with Wong running at third. Wong is at second now. Reynolds at third.
It's a lot different, though, because you don't have the speed at third like the Cardinals had with Wong over there. Mark Reynolds is the runner. Tell you, on a ground ball to the infield, I'd try a contact play here. You take more chances when you're ahead. Cardinals are up by 4. And the worst you could end up is runners on at first and third and 2 outs. But in the process, you've tried to score a run.
One-0 pitch, squeeze. Oh, and Wacha gets the bunt down. Nobody at first, and the bases are loaded.
I've never seen that. Have you?
No.
This is better known as the bunt shift.
What is going on here?
This is the bunt shift employed by the Mets.
What's Daniel Murphy doing?
Well, you know, he should be at first base, actually.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. You can understand why the first baseman charged, but Daniel Murphy's spot is to go to first base.
What's he doing there?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Daniel tomorrow.
You're the analyst. I need answers.
I'll ask Daniel tomorrow. But I'll try to word it delicately.
Yes. Start with his home run. Then ease your way into
good thinking.
The bunt.
Good idea.
I've never seen that.
Neither have I.
Here's Peter Borges. Bases loaded. Peter 1 for 3. I'm going to make a prediction. You ready? Keith Hernandez is going to race into our booth between innings.
Probably.
And we can hash it out, talk about it, and then we'll move on. 0-2 on Borges. Bases loaded with 1 out. Borges, a single into center field. 1 run is in. They'll hold up Wong as Reynolds scores to make it 7-2. A bullet off the bat of the Cardinals center fielder.
I'll tell you what. When you follow the Cardinals, I think you'd have to agree that they have not had a better offensive approach this year than in this game tonight. Even their outs have been hard. Borges with his second hit. 2 hits for Grichuk. Home run by Mark Reynolds.
Grichuk with a double, a triple. He's popped out to third. He scored a run and has an RBI. Bases loaded, still only 1 out. 7-2 Cardinals. That run charged to Jonathan Neese.
Cardinals came in, pardon me, Dan. Cardinals came into tonight's game having scored 10 runs over the last 4 games. 10. They've already scored 7 tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike. You look at the top of the lineup at the start of the game, and you think, you know, Grichuk, 5 strikeouts last night. Borges, not sure. And those guys have provided 4 hits so far. The 1-1. Grichuk drives it out to deep left field. This ball is off the wall. 2 runs will score. Grichuk on his way to second base with his second double tonight. And the Cardinals lead it now 9-2. Does the ball jump off his bat or what?
Or what?
Woo.
Two doubles, a triple. He's got such a compact swing when he's swinging well. But I think what makes this night for Randal Grichuk is what kind of night he had last night. The game is forgiving in many ways. It's cruel in many ways. But for Randal Grichuk, it's apologized to him tonight.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Here's Holiday. Holiday has walked. He has flied to right, flied to center. Runners at second and third. That's good speed out there with Grichuk and Borges. Holiday is the 9th man to come to the plate here in the top of the 6th. The lefty getting loose in the pen. You can close the book officially now on Nice. 5+ innings, 8 runs, 11 hits. There's the lefty, Sean Gil-Martin. It's a Rule 5 pickup. The 0-2. You try to think along if you can in the game with both managers, and we talked about the bullpen has been taxed lately. However, you have a 7-run lead. And going into the season, the Cardinals talked about trying to curb some of the innings, if they could, of Michael Wacha. You're Mike Matheny. You're kind of caught in the middle with this one, to an extent.
Well, with Adam Wainwright out of there, I think the one guy you protect is Michael. I mean, he was hit on the hand hard. I would suspect he will not go more than an inning. And it depends on whether these runs score also. I see your point, though.
It's bounced, kept in front, 3-2. Yeah, this is a team that's been dying for innings from their rotation, to say the least. Bullpen has thrown the most innings of anybody since Adam Wainwright went out with the torn Achilles. So full count here on Matt Holliday. Holliday with a fly ball out to right. Backing up, Granderson makes the catch. Runner will tag. That's Peter Borges, as well as Grichuk from second to third. That makes it 10-2. 22 RBIs now for Holliday. Well, it all started with Johnny Peralta in this inning. Broken bat single to left field. Most innings pitched by relievers this season. 128 2/3 from the Cardinals. Then you have the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, and the Rockies. You know, yeah, 3 teams that are
kind of bunched together like
struggling.
That. Yeah. You know, three or four innings separating the first and second and third and fourth teams.
Big inning for the Cardinals. They played 6. They lead it 10-2. It's all season long, even at the last minute, and even if that game is sold out. So get to StubHub today. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's now a 10-2 lead for the Cardinals, with Duda, Kadire, and Murphy due up for the Mets. Walker had 77 pitches. He had low-scoring one-run games yesterday. 6 of the 7 games were decided by 1 run. And today, baseball, a funny game. We talk about it all the time. Cardinals with 14 hits. They lead it 10-2. You heard the boos for Jonathan Neese. His previous start from tonight, he had been given a 4-run lead in Chicago, gave that up. And tonight, the Mets fell behind 4-0. Murphy, the 2-run homer to make it 4-2, and the Cardinals explode for 6 in the top of the 6th. And Duda swing and a miss as he strikes out. 4 tonight for Michael Walker.
Say Walker gets through this inning. I think what Mike Matheny is thinking, do I want extra pitches thrown by 1 or by many? Many meaning 3 from the bullpen. It may be very important to protect the guy on the mound right now by spreading it out among the bullpen pitchers.
If you'd go with many, it might be a good time to get Tui Valala back out there.
Good point.
Sokolovich did not pitch last night. And the other part of this, too, Tim, is that tomorrow you've got Martinez, who's not going deep into games, and you've had basically Villanueva piggybacking the starts of Martinez. That's something to think about as well. Here's a 1-2. Hit out of play by Michael Kadire.
Nuevo's last outing was Saturday, right?
Correct. Another aspect of this, too, is Thursday, Jaime Garcia. Not sure what you may get from him. He was telling us before the game yesterday that he feels as good as he's felt in years. We shall see.
See, his curveball is different from the windup. That's the point. We talked about it earlier, but it's got better rotation. It's got better spin. He can use that left leg to kick and to furnish some of the power. We talked about lower body strength.
Shallow center. Colton Wong wants it and has it for out number 2. Follow the Cardinals with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Daniel Murphy, 2-run homer back in the 4th. Breaking ball that's grounded to Colton Wong, and a 1-2-3 for Michael Wacha here in the 6th. We head to the 7th. Cardinals on top 10-2. Michael Wacha, look at his night, which has been busy all over the place. That led to a run. Murphy charging on the play. Nobody at first base. We haven't seen that ever. And then on the mound, here's Michael Wacha. The time we weren't sure about the hand, but everything seems to be okay, and he is dealing here tonight. So 90 pitches.
Also, Dan, that quick inning may have kept him in the game.
Agreed. Here's Yadier Molina. Sometimes you would see Mike Matheny, especially in the case of Yadier Molina. You're up by 8 runs. You've had a couple of long nights. You've got the night game and then followed by the day game. You know you want him to catch Garcia on Thursday. Sometimes you'll see him pull him early in games like these. Some of the everyday players and veterans.
Not a bad idea.
Yep. Here's Reynolds. He's had a good night. Pair of singles, the solo home run, and his average up to 274 with the 3 hits.
This is where Pete Rose was more dangerous, going after a 4th hit than a first hit.
grinding through every at bat.
Not giving anything away.
I've told you this before. Hal McRae used to sit in front of me in the plains, and we'd always talk about great players that he played with or played against. And I asked him, I said, who does Pujols remind you of? And this is when Pujols was in his heyday and Hal was the hitting coach here with the Cardinals. And he said, no one has ever said this, but I think he reminds me of Pete Rose. I said, Pete Rose? Where do you come up with that comparison? And he said, because they never give in. They never give
Their
away
approach, right?
an at bat. Up by 10, down by 10, you're going to see their best. Oh, by the way, this is the Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, Carpenter's got that too. He doesn't give in at bats.
He definitely has that trait.
You played with Pete in the late 70s?
1 year. Another thing Pete did after a game, he would bring in his game bat and sit in front of his locker and clean it with alcohol and notice where he made contact.
Really?
Yes.
So he wanted to see the barrel.
He wanted to see the barrel. Good night or bad night. He did it. It was a ritual for him. And the marks of the ball would be either on the barrel. There are very few on the trademark. You don't get 4,200 hits with marks on the trademark. And he rarely broke a bat. So he would, see just for his own information where the marks were on the bat, and he would clean it with alcohol and keep the same bat, of course, for the next night.
What was he like during BP? Was there a ritual there too?
No. Didn't try to pull the ball. Never tried to pull the ball.
2-1, a broken bat hit to second on a hop to Murphy. And it is time to stretch. Cardinals on top 10-2. Brought to you by Budweiser. Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Wilmer Flores will lead things off. And we talked about 5 strikeouts, 2 extra base hits. Now add another one, so 3 the game after the 5 strikeouts. This hasn't been done since 1914 until tonight.
That's the year World War I started. I mean, Come on. 101 years, striking out 5 times, and the next night getting 3 extra base hits.
So Walker approaching 100 pitches, and he'll have the 7th. Tim McCarver, for those that don't know, was a broadcaster many years here with the New York Mets and working with Ralph Kiner. And you were right in the middle of watching many of those great Cardinal Mets games in the 1980s, and you'll be on the pregame show tomorrow to talk about that. But boy, those were some fun games, man.
Oh, a lot of fun, and what a rivalry the Cardinals were with the New York Mets. And what games, what memorable regular season games these two teams played against each other.
Strawberry Gooden.
Keith Hernandez, the ex-Cardinal.
Remember I said you got to have a villain?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was all of that.
They had plenty of them. See Walker's reaction. A little bit frustrated with the strike zone tonight at Jim Wolf. That pitch is popped up off the bat of Anthony Recker. And it's Cosmo on the mound making the catch. Plaza Tires Fox Tracks.
The skyscraper in New York.
This is Daryl Siciliani, just called up. Kirk Neuenhuis sent out. Neuenhuis was striking out at a clip of over 40% of his at-bats.
Oh, boy.
So Siciliani has been called up. Major League debut. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. Michael Wacha, youngest Cardinals pitcher to begin a season with 5 straight wins since Alan Watson back in 1993, who was from this area.
Hullabaloo, connect. The school song at Texas A&M just happened to be the school fight song for Christian Brothers High School in Memphis, Tennessee.
I know a guy that went there.
Yeah, me. I haven't told Michael that yet. I'm sure he's really fascinated with that story.
Guys could sing it together, maybe.
Oh,
we'll get it on tape. Run it on the pregame.
Mm-hmm.
Arm in arm. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tim McCarver and Michael Wacha.
Singing their respective high school and college fight songs.
Why not? The 2-2. Slowly hit. And a base hit. Siciliani, his first ever major league hit, an infield hit off of Michael Wacha. Congratulations.
They'll remember this forever. It'll be a line drive in 10 years or less.
Ouch.
Oh, boy. I really think that hockey mask serves a better purpose than the other mask.
Yeah.
More protection. Obviously, Yachty thinks that. That's why he's wearing it.
Mike Matheny was big in helping with the variations of developing that hockey style mask. You see how the umpire, his mask is the old school that you had.
Right.
But even they have figured out near the forehead area more of the padding up there to help with some of the foul balls. Siciliani, his first ever major league hit. Cardinals baseball. We're going to tell you why college in just a moment. Let's head to our studio and a Bommarito Sports Update. Thank you, Jimmy. Chevy call to the pen, Sean Gilmartin. And I said college, and the reason why, such a small world, the baseball world. Gilmartin, Michael Wacha faced each other in the Super Regionals a few years ago when Michael was with Texas A&M. Gilmartin was a starter at the time for Florida State. And those two hooked up, winner take all, going to Omaha. Pretty amazing. And now here they are in the big leagues and pitching in the same game. And Texas A&M that year defeated Florida State and advanced to the College World Series behind Michael Wacha against Sean Gilmartin. It's our Hyundai pitch arsenal for Gilmartin, who's now trying to find a home in the bullpen. Originally drafted a first-round pick by the Braves from Florida State as a starting pitcher. We saw him in spring training, one of the last to make it for the Mets, and pitching in a 10-2 game right now here in the top of the 8th. Small world, huh? Face each other in college. Now here they are in the major leagues. Gilmartin loves, spins, throws, and makes the play on the speedy Cosmo.
Good play. So the one thing against Gilmartin, when actually less than a third of your pitches are fastballs, that's against you immediately. Good pick by Duda. Only 31% fastballs for Gilmartin.
Tony Cruz now pinch hitting for Michael Wacha. So Wacha goes 7 innings tonight. Just what the Cardinals needed.
And your point, I mean, it would be a good time to leave Tony in the game to spell Molina.
And that's a base hit into right field. Time for the players to watch. Most pitches per plate appearance. DraftKings.com. Enter the promo code CARDS. Curtis Granderson, Bryce Harper, Corey Dickerson, and Jock Peterson. Peterson having a tremendous rookie season with the Dodgers.
Yes, he is. It's always fun seeing those great franchises. The Dodgers coming to Busch Stadium in 10 days. Don Mattingly and his crew in first place in the National League West.
24-13. That's pulled foul. Borges, to me, looks like a different player here in 2015.
I couldn't agree more. Much more aggressive at the plate tonight.
2 hits, 2 for 4. We've talked about it. He had the hip surgery and really felt that held him back last year. Two-one pitch. Will change up at 77 miles an hour. Crowd tonight, 21,157 here at Citi Field. A fly ball lifted into center field. 2 down. There's Rando Grichuk. What a night. Pair of doubles, triple. Eight-run lead. The first baseman playing behind Tony Cruz. Grichuk with a fly ball lifted to left field. On the track, it's Kadire.
5 great at-bats for Grichuk tonight.
Michael Wacha, 7 innings. Rando Grichuk, 3 for 5. Neese and Murphy also part of the story tonight. The Mazda game summary. Randy Choate, our Chevy call to the pen. Now that was funny, by the way, what just happened in front of us. We are among the fans as Matt Adams takes over at first, and Tony Cruz is behind the plate. Tim is standing up right now, and hey, wait a minute, that's McCava. Hey, Tim, what's going on, baby? How the heck you been?
I don't know how McCava is spelled.
Hey, we miss you around here, Timmy. Look at this guy.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, a couple of those guys I don't want to say anything to.
No, you don't want to. Nope. Do learn that in New York.
Oh, yeah. Randy Choate gets Curtis Granderson, and we're underway here in the 8th. Hey, look, it's Tim. Tonight, Fox Sports Live will get you caught up on a full day of NHL and NBA playoff action and today's Major League Baseball games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1 or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Eric Campbell. And he looks at a strike from Randy Choate. Tell you what, he's lucky he's not down here. I got that right. You hear that guy? It's pulled foul. 1-2.
What is Bob Uecker's line? All these fans, I love them. The Cardinal fan right next to a Met fan.
Adams makes the play.
Can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
No,
Remember
you
Harry
can't.
Carey? Can't beat fun at the old ballpark, and you can't.
We have security right in front of us. It's a rope.
Paper thin security.
Yeah.
Here at Shea. Oh, those old habits die hard,
Yeah.
don't they? Your favorite ballpark.
Love that
Shea.
place. Yeah, we're protected. Meanwhile, there's 5 guys down there that look like they're part of WWE ready to come up here. Cut off sleeves.
Yeah.
One ball, one strike. Lucas Duda.
How about this game so totally opposite from last night? 14 2-1 Met win, and tonight 10-2 a blowout. Terrific performance by the Cardinal offense. Probably the best of the season in their approach. Maybe not as many runs as they've scored, but they've hit a lot of balls hard. This ball hitting Duda on the right leg.
Brings in Kadire. So 2 outs and Kadire. Drops in low. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is your fault, you know, if you didn't have all these friends here.
They're all my passes.
One pitch inside. So as we thought, Molina has a seat for the final couple of innings, and also Adams in the game now. 3-1 the count. Chop to third. And a force play at second. That sends us to the 9th. Scoreless inning by Choate. And it's 10-2 St. Louis. Jack Leathersich, our Chevy called to the pen. His 5th appearance, 0 ERA. There's Matt Adams. I think we both felt last night much better at bats from Adams.
Yeah.
1-0 pitch. This time he skies it. That is a major league pop up there. Catch made, 1 down by Campbell. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Tim McCarver, Dan McLaughlin, Pat Paris with you. Pat will have reaction from the Cardinals clubhouse. You'll hear from Mike Matheny coming up on the postgame show with Jim Hayes and Al Raboski. That hits Peralta.
Little sailing fastball inside. Looked like it got the birds on the bat.
Cologne tomorrow, then Jacob deGrom on Thursday. Now this is a sight. Randy Choate hitting. Cardinal dugout paying attention to this at bat more so than anybody else tonight.
Yes.
I think John Lackey said, look at that bat wag. He's even got the little bit of the top, the front foot. 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts in his career. 2 balls and 1 strike.
How many times have you looked in the Cardinal dugout this year and seen laughter?
Yeah.
These tight games. 2-1 on Sunday night, a win. 2-1 a loss last night, 14 innings.
The 2-1 pitch.
Excruciating loss on Saturday, 4-3 in extra innings on a game that should have been won by the Cardinals.
Last at bat was in 2004 for Randy Choate, April of 2004. Cardinals have played already in 7 extra inning games. So a lot of tight games. Inside and a walk to Randy Choate.
Still got his eye.
I may never say that again in my career, nor his. A walk for Randy Choate.
I don't know whether he's crying or laughing. Probably crying because he has to run the bases.
So the long career of Randy Choate, he finally has made it to first. Never been on base.
I know. I know. Good going.
I'm sure he knows all the signs. This lefty cannot find the strike zone. 2-1 the count on Mark Reynolds, who's had a big night. 3 hits, including a home run back in the 4th. 15 hits tonight for the Cardinals, just 4 allowed. Reynolds to right field. See Randy Choate there?
Alertly going back to first.
Yes, he did.
Randy's read about this, being on base. Yep.
Well, come on back.
Keen brakes on.
Here's Colton Wong. That's inside to Wong. Peralta already hit in this inning. Walk to Choate. Colton 1 for 4 with a 2-run double with the bases loaded. That was back in the 6th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now this is an unnecessary trip to the mound.
Tui Valala getting loose in the pen. Wong bounces it to first. That sends us to the bottom of the 9th. Cardinals with a 10-2 lead. Randy Choate, first time he's ever had to run the bases. A triple, pair of doubles, 3 RBIs, and a little history with a run scored. So 5 strikeouts game 1. He comes back in game 2 with 3 extra base hits. That has not been done since 1914. Chevy called to the pen. Let's see how Sam Tuivailala bounces back after a tough appearance last night.
The loser in last night's ball game came out of the bullpen and walked 2. And then Trevor Rosenthal came on and threw 1 pitch to John Mayberry, and the game was over. Infield hit for Mayberry as the winning run scored in the bottom of the 14th. Subtle move by Mike Matheny. Try to restore some confidence in his young right-hander.
We've seen it. He's got a great arm. Learning. First pitch is a fly ball to left. Now he can breathe a little bit. Get that first out.
Right.
Sam is a really good kid, and he was with me, Tim, on the Cardinals caravan this year and had the chance to visit with him at length. It's been kind of a crazy ride for him to get to the big leagues because, as we mentioned last night, he initially was drafted as a position player.
Shortstop, right?
Right, and then moved to third base. The Cardinals, a few years ago, drafted a pair of third basemen, and they told Sam, your best bet is to get on the mound with that arm. Made the transition in 2012 and then appeared in the big leagues just 2 years later. Rapid rise through the minor leagues. He said the biggest difference for him in what he's learned, which has been brief, but he said you learn so much just being around a major league atmosphere and in the games. He said you find out very quickly that major league hitters can hit a fastball. So I throw 100, big deal. He said you've got to be able to spot it, and you've got to have something to go with it too. So he's working on the breaking ball. He's got a little change up too. Last pitch was 100 miles an hour. Can't teach that.
Nope.
Here's the 0-2.
Yeah, you can't go to a young pitcher and say, hey, throw it harder.
Right. Cardinals have Tuivailala. They've got Alex Reyes, who's in the minor leagues, hard throwing right-hander. Sam was the closer at Memphis. 0-2 pitch. One-two, lifted in the air out to left field, and it's over Reynolds and a ground rule double. So Wilmer Flores, his first base hit tonight, a one-out double here in the bottom of the ninth.
And you also learn up here that when you hang sliders, they're hit hard. Ball up in the strike zone. Flores' first hit of the night.
Anthony Recker, 0 for 3. Just the 5th hit for the Mets tonight total. The pitching of Michael Wacha, Randy Flores, now Tuivailala. Fastball misses on the outside corner. Cardinals with 15 hits tonight, just 5 for the Mets, and a 10-2 St. Louis lead. The big inning was the 6th, in which the Cardinals picked up 6. Ground ball left side. Taken there by Cosma, 2 down. When you come to the ballpark, as Red Chandies always says, you're going to see something you've never seen before. So we saw something that had not been done since 1914 tonight. and something that we may never see again in that at bat from Randy Choate.
How about the bunt shift?
That's the other one.
Yeah. Second baseman, first baseman, and pitcher converging on a bunt by Michael Wacha, and nobody covered first base.
Never seen it before.
Nope.
Here's Siciliani as an infield hit for his first major league hit. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. The Mets down to their final strike in this ball game. One-two pitch. 2-2. Got him, and a strikeout to end the game. Nicely done by Sam Tuivailala to get the final 3 outs.
A lot of good things happened for the Cardinals tonight. Offensively, Randall Grichuk, and pitching, Michael Wacha. One of the things that turned out to be a fortunate thing for the Cardinals, that left hand of Michael Wacha is fine after being hit by one hopper.
We'll find out more about that coming up on the postgame show. Al Roboski, Jim Hayes, they're standing by.
Huh?